A man reproduces himself through his child, so when he leave here, he can just smile. But I see fit to stay here a while, maybe buy a timeshare somewhere, rock bumware, beach chair, write a book each year. You can write yourself out of your blessings. Wreck your Lambo the first stages by driving too reckless. Time is too precious, these some obvious lessons. Please remind me to watch my step while I balance on edge and ski on the slopes of life. Slide down the Ave at night, watching them graphing graffiti on walls, that's the sight. Cars from Germany, I be pushing the fastest type. Looking at real estate, brother, I need to ask a price. Imagine another rapper making me perspire. I got more styles and more flows, plus I'm much flyer. I got more heights to reach, but I'm already higher. I'm already on to the next thing. Peace and bless, King.
What is going on? What is going on, people? Welcome to What It Takes. Excited. Second week of February. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. Shouts out to the Kansas City Chiefs. I heard they won the Super Bowl. Shouts out to Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. I appreciate you guys for checking in each and every Monday. What it takes. Let's get the housekeeping in order. Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow, depending on what platform you're on. I know YouTube, you got to hit the subscription bell. So hit the bell. I drop this once a week. That's it. Get this once a week in your and then you're good for the rest of the week. P. Other than that, guys, remember Wednesdays, it starts with me. Check out my brother Joel Simmons. Each and every Wednesday, he drops a video, 12:30, where he interviews somebody. I think they're going to their second season. So check out It Starts With Me. Friday, Community Beacon. We'll be there all month. We filmed a couple of episodes at the same time last week. So it was a real interesting topic. We were really fired up on it. So if you didn't catch last week, Friday's episode, it goes into next week. And we're really getting into that, enjoying Community Beacon, man. I had a really, really good time last week filming those episodes. And then, of course, you have it started out. All right, What It Takes. Mondays, right around 9 o'clock is when I drop this one. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into one of my favorite things of the day, which is real estate news. Let's see what's going on in real estate news. I was talking about rent. I was a little late picking up my rents this month. Someone still owes me rent. So I get to figure out what we're doing with that. I'll give that person a call later on this week. But look what's going on with rents. I specifically wanted to stick to Florida. I think I'm going to more so stick to Florida because whenever I see national news, it doesn't really affect South Florida. We're in a thriving market. So the median national news rose 2.4% to $1,942 in January. The smallest increase since May 2021. Good for some of the renters, right? And the lowest level in nearly a year. But it's still going up. I just want you all to recognize that. It's roughly 1/6 the pace of January 2022, which was insane. They were 15.6% from 1 year earlier. January marked the 8th straight month in which annual rent growth slowed. It only could go up so much. People can only afford so much. And we're really at that point at this now, Yeah, I mean, after people pay for the season, you only have locals. And locals, they're not making as much. They're not making that much money. We went up crazy. I mean, it was crazy over the last 2 years. And Florida rent continued to outpace the national average. Didn't I say that? Of the four cities, including Redfin, a report. One thing about Redfin, they may not be the best company, and no disrespect to Redfin, because you all put out good rate reports. So let me not say anything because then you'll stop giving me the reports. Jacksonville saw the biggest year-to-year rent increase at 7.5%. So look at Jacksonville. Asking rent is up 7.5%, but it's at $1,653. This is like what? Well, we were like around 1,900 in 2020. Miami, which is us, regional, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach. That's the area normally, but everyone knows Miami. $3,094 is the median asking rent. We're not that bad, but we're close. Orlando's at 2109. Tampa is 20. Hot market. Tampa's a hot market too. So we're going to see that even increasing. They're on pace with us. Tampa's really growing. A lot of people are talking about it. Says rent growth is cooling because of slowing demand and growing supply. I don't necessarily know. But, they are putting up a lot of, just had a conversation in regards to putting up these garden apartments. Shout out to my real estate construction cousin, that GC, that puts me up on all of the new trends, especially in the commercial area. So they're supposed to be putting up a lot more garden apartments, and who knows, maybe we'll see. I mean, we're seeing it stabilize at 3.5%. I'm raising my rents this month, and it's going to be around an 8 to 10% raise because I didn't really do it during the pandemic. So we get to see rentals go up. That was that. I saw another article that I wanted to take a look at over here. So forgive me, guys. Let's read this real quick. We're talking about foreclosures. I think we're going to see a lot of homes on the market. People's properties won't be foreclosed on, thank God. I don't even think we're really going to see a lot of short sales. We will see people selling homes in order to pay off the foreclosure and may be able to keep some money in your pocket. So remember in 2007, 2008, when we had the huge meltdown, and then, that went to 2009, 10, people tried to hold on as long as possible. What we saw was a lot of homes that were underwater. What's going on now is the homes aren't underwater. People just haven't paid. So unless we see something from the federal government where they're saying, listen, especially if you have a government-backed loan, FHA, VA, etc., we may see, I think we're going to see people selling, but they're not going to be losing out on it unless they just wait until the last minute. So it's going to be an interesting time in the next year. What we'll see is we're going to see these homes that can be sold. But what happens is a lot of people wait until the last minute. Do not wait until they tell you have 24 hours to get out. Try to, hey, if they say, hey, in 30 days you're going to auction, try to sell that home. You may be able to leave with something, a lot more than what you're going to leave with when you leave with a foreclosure. So that's that. I'm always optimistic in regards to the housing market, especially for it not to be like 2008 again. So that's that. All right. So this month we will be going over branding and marketing. That was a horrible transition. We're going to be going over branding and marketing. And this is what so let's talk about it. First, I think when we talk about branding and marketing, it's interesting, right? And one of the conversations I was having with a friend of mine was the reason why people get into business. A lot of people think it would be to control their income. And what I mean by control their income is that, depending on how hard you work on your business, how effective your business is, how successful it is, you're not necessarily going up if you are at a regular corporate job where you're getting X amount of raises and bonuses, if you're getting bonuses, but your raise, your cost of living raise, the meritocracy raise, or I forget what the raise is called, your bonus, so to speak. But that's what probably maximum is 3 to 5%, maybe 7% a year, unless you're probably getting a different position, etc. Right? So you go into business. You would think that people went into business for money, but then I found out something very interesting when I thought about it. That a lot of people don't go into business to make money. They go into business for their ego, right? You have some people who are really good cooks, and they may be great cooks, and people like their food. But when you go into business, it's not just about great food for restaurants, because if that was the case, there would be a lot more restaurants that are open. You find out a lot of restaurants, they don't last 2 years, 3 years. First off, they're underfunded, but secondly, they're not consistent. Restaurants take a lot of work on top of that. But people say, oh, my food is great, people should pay for it, or they want to be known. There's a lot of ego involved in businesses. So as you get into this branding and marketing, are you doing the branding and marketing for the ego? right? Like, is this the most effective? I mean, I like it, right? But is this the most effective way of marketing for your business? I don't know. I don't know if this is the most effective way. It looks good. Yeah, you have a sign out. Who has a sign out? Mike's has a sign out. What am I doing with it? Is it the most effective way? We don't know. Is it the most cost-effective way? Maybe not. And it was interesting because I was taking a marketing class. I was invited to a marketing class with a guy who did marketing for Tony Robbins, direct marketing. And it was an interesting class because as real estate agents, we normally have a house that we list or we sell, and then we'll paper the neighborhoods with this just sold, just listed, these postcards. It's what usually and customary happens. Like this, you just know you send out these postcards, right? And after further review, and then of course these postcards have your face on it and your name, and if you know, it's this huge to-do thing with real estate agents. We send out these postcards with our face and our names. Maybe sometimes we send out stuff with recipes, etc. But is it the most effective? It's not. Most people do it because everybody else is doing it, and they think, ego, you know, it's fed to the ego. They think that this is the most effective way to market to a neighborhood. And so this guy, so the class that I was in, we spoke about how to send out these just sold and just listed homes. And the thing is, when we send them out, we really don't elicit curiosity. We don't work with human psychology in order to make it more effective. So why are you sending out all of this information? And, okay, my neighbor, okay, cool. You throw it in the trash. And if they do decide, oh my gosh, my neighbor got that much for it, let me call my agent. 9 times out of 10. I love to see the numbers on the amount of people who get listings from just sold, just listings, or even get appointments from just sold, just listings. Like, in order to get those appointments, you have to send out, and this is direct mail, straight to the postcard straight to the consumer, direct mail. You have to be doing direct mail for between 12 and 18 months. I do know that stat before you get any responses from it, because they have to see it over and over again. That first time you send that just sold, just listing, which begs a whole different conversation in that neighborhood. If you don't sell again in that neighborhood, you're not going to send to that neighborhood. And so now you're doing just sold, just listed to a different neighborhood. If you sell or you happen to sell in that neighborhood, then another neighborhood, then another neighborhood. I'm talking about consistent marketing and farming one area. Guys, forgive me. This is real estate, but this if you have questions in regards to your business, I definitely can answer them. So put them in the comments in there or engage, and I'll definitely or DM me. But this is to farm in one area. You have to be there for 12 to 18 months sending postcards or just listed, just sold, or whatever it is that you send out monthly. This is on a monthly, maybe every other month. Maybe you can get away with every other month, but it's supposed to be every 18 days, right? So here's the postcard that the guy who works for Tony Robbins, the guy who does direct marketing, this is what I send out. And I only send it out this is for my my sphere of influence, which was interesting, right? And then we do have on the back, because it's very small. And you can put your information in there too if you want one. You can be one of my SOIs. But you send this out, and what does it say? It says the world's most interesting postcard. But of course, you look on the back. Who sent it to me? Mike Seville. So now I also become the world's most interesting man, and I am. But this is something that you can kind of keep, like these type of things. The first off is yellow. It stands out, right? It's not the prettiest card, but it's yellow. It stands out. Then it has information on here that people can keep. And guess what? I sent it out twice, and guess what? I've gotten 2 referrals off of it already. So it's about working with human psychology. What are we doing this for? Are we doing this to make ourselves famous and make ourselves look good, to say that we're sending this stuff out? Or are we doing this to be effective? These are the thoughts I want you to take into as we dive deeper into the subject next week, and for the remainder of the month. We're definitely get more into the marketing and branding section. I know there's some marketing people that are upset with me because I put them both together as if they're the same, but they're not. And we'll definitely talk about that. Other than that, people, something to chew on. I'm working on this branding and marketing. I'm going to get even deeper. I'm going to even get more aligned with it. And I do have the cheat code, and we'll talk about the cheat code next week. Other than that, you need any help with real estate, you see the number in the back. I appreciate you for checking in. And until next time, I'll see you next week. What it takes.
A man reproduces himself through his child, so when he leave here, he can just smile. But I see fit to stay here a while, maybe buy a timeshare somewhere, rock bumware, beach chair, write a book each year. You can write yourself out of your blessings, wreck your Lambo the first stages by driving too reckless. Time is too precious, these some obvious lessons. Please remind me to watch my step while I balance on edge and ski on the slopes of life. Slide down the Ave at night, watching them graphing graffiti on walls, that's the sight. Cars from Germany, I be pushing the fastest type. Looking at real estate, brother, I need to ask it price. Imagine another rapper making me perspire. I got more styles and more flows, plus I'm much flyer. I got more heights to reach, but I'm already higher. I'm already on to the next thing. Peace and bless, King.
I just see my boy Tough let me pull up.